Welcome back, my loves. In this video, I would like to share you in brief the journey that I'm inviting you in. So, we will begin with an opening ceremony. And in that opening ceremony, we will do some housekeeping. And we're going to set the framework, the structure for our journey. And we will go through our sacred agreements, and we will start the process of uncovering and discovering who your archetype is. And then when we begin, we are starting on Samhain, on October 31st. We're starting there because the veils are thin. And it just happened that way. I did not plan it this way. I started preparing for this journey, and I'm showing you how much I'm in this journey with you. When I prepared for this journey, it landed right here, and Spirit told me, Mother told me, you want to do this? You're going to do this? All right, let's do it. So when the veils are thin, if you're going to go on a journey that's steeped in ancient ancestral wisdom that's been around for thousands of years, you start with the ancestors, where the veil is thin, where you have one foot in this earth realm and this next foot in the spirit realm. And we are going to connect with what's here. Right? So we're going to part the veils, and we'll step into our sanctuary. And then that first season is metal. That first season is autumn. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but I want you to see that I'm holding a metal bowl. We're starting here with metal is the part of you that where your energy that's unique to you, your essence, it goes from the inside out. This part of you that's external, this part of you that's where you end and the rest of the world begins. This is your metal element. This is your Wei Qi from the inside out, and we're going to create this container in which we travel in. This will be our vehicle in which we travel, right? A metal container, and we will travel around through the wheel of the year within this container. This container is strong enough to take the heat. This container is big enough to hold all of our intentions and all of our truth. And this container is small and light enough that it's easy to travel in. So that's metal element. That's how we're starting our first season, our first session is about metal. Creating the container, and notice how inside of it is empty. Metal is all about the revealing of our truth and then releasing and letting go. And when we release and let go, we empty out. And then we integrate, and then we shift into winter, into water. And then in the water, that's the dark time of the year, in the winter. And in that emptiness, we receive, we trust, we go into stillness. And in that emptiness, a seed is sprouting. And that water, the time of water, that's kidney energy, that's essence energy. You'll learn a lot more about that, but that's your sexual energy. This is your primordial energy. This is essence. The seed of your essence starts to stir. That's the winter. We go in the dark. It's such a beautiful time. And then in the spring, we start to feel the stirring, and we're ready to grow. We're ready to come out. We're still in our container, but we're growing in our life. We become like these plants, right? We start to grow. We're our roots up and down. We start to flourish. We're coming out. We have our intentions. We're alive, right? We are willing to share. We're coming out. We're revealing ourselves. We're growing, expanding. We're ready. And then we go into the summer when that part of you that was ready to grow and expand is now here and it's flourishing. And summer is all about fire. And fire can be really intense and really hot and really luminous. We're going to connect with the brilliance of the luminosity of fire and heart and love and joy and passion. And we're going to merge it with water. We're going to be doing the alchemical dance of fire and water, of yin and yang, of masculine and feminine. And here we're going to explore sexual alchemy in another way. We're going to explore union, sacred union within ourselves. And here we start to touch into our, again, this primordial part of ourselves that's eternal. And then from once the fire settles, we'll go deep down into the earth. That fire will burn into ashes. And we've just had this like merging experience with fire and water and alchemy. It's very intense. It's a very orgasmic, passionate, alive, like full body experience, right? And then from there, we're going to rest and restore, recuperate, anchor in, harvest. And that's when we'll complete at the autumn equinox. So that's in brief. And why does it matter, this journey? I'm letting you know why it matters, because you're a cyclical woman in nature. And sometimes what's happening outside of us in nature, winter, spring, summer, fall, doesn't always seem to match up with what's happening inside of us. Like we have multiple parts, right? So maybe in your business, even though it's winter, you're in an extreme growth phase. Maybe it's springtime, and in your relationships, it seems like everything should be growing, but really in your relationships, things might be ending. Right? Or you're in summer and everyone's feeling really passionate and really alive, and you might be feeling like it's time for you to slow way down and to go into stillness and go into silence and go into the dark and go alone and be alone. Right? So we don't always reflect what's happening. And so once we get really clear of the seasons and the cycles that are happening, we see them that they are spirals that are happening simultaneously in different iterations within our lives, and we learn how to orchestrate. We learn how to recognize where we are and normalize our experience, and realize that we don't always have to be exactly as the season is, but once we recognize what the season is, then we're able to be like, so where am I? That is a primary question in Qigong. Where am I? Am I in my center? Am I in my body? Another primary question is, what do I want? What is my desire? Another primary question is, who am I? And when we're familiar with this journey, we get real clear of where am I? What do I desire? And who am I? And then when we get really clear and we align these in our center and we're connected to all of our sources, the work that we're here to do, when we're in that aligned, connected source, we're flourishing. all of our sacred work, our relationships, our spiritual practice, our prosperity, our health, every bit of that starts to flourish in a new way. So that's the journey that we're going on, that I'm inviting you to co-create with, to come in and land and to be filled and restored and held by, and be held in this sacred container, in this medicine bowl, in this singing bowl. And finding this medicine bowl, this singing bowl within your own body, which is in your pelvis, which is in your hips, and within your dantian and your pearl and your womb space is held here. It's like nesting dolls held within. So in a nutshell, my love, this is the journey that I'm inviting you on. And I invite you to breathe that in and see what that would feel like for you this next year. To be really connected to the seasons, the external seasons of our lives, and the internal seasons of our spirit, of our soul. I invite you to watch the next videos about why now and what it means to be awake. I'll see you there.